Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now the beginning of February of 2022, and we're only getting closer to the release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, which is all set and ready to debut on Disney Plus by this May. In fact, we are about to get the official trailer, the full-length trailer, by this March, so keep your eyes open for that as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So what's even all the more exciting right now is that we are getting very close to the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 7. It's also going to be considered the Book of Boba Fett season finale before Disney and Lucasfilm come to the conclusion on what they want to do with Book of Boba Fett Season 2. In fact, they are waiting for the fan reception on Chapter 7 to see how everybody thinks about the end of it and whether or not they want the series to continue. They're going to base everything off of Chapter 7 and how the series concludes. So it's very likely that we're going to see a Season 2 of the show depending on how well the final episode is going to be executed by no other than director Robert Rodriguez, as well as Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, on top of all of this, alright, one thing that obviously has been pretty much a mess right now has everything to do with Kathleen Kennedy and the Acolyte TV series. Now, the Acolyte TV show, in case you guys are unaware, it takes place within the High Republic era. It takes place basically at the tail end of that particular timeline, and it's really going to give the fans an idea of how it ties directly into Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So that's exactly what Kennedy is aiming for. She's really aiming to create a lot of retcons for Episode 1, and Leslie Headland is looking to do that as well. Something that really worries me, because we obviously know that they both want to shy away from George Lucas's philosophy. So on top of all of this, alright, what's really intriguing and quite worrisome has to do with what she recently did with Luke Skywalker in a very unexpected way in the Acolyte series and how it was all cancelled. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy beginning to have more issues with the Acolyte TV show for Disney Plus, both Jon and Dave Filoni are beginning to go into pre-production for Star Wars Underworld, a Star Wars series based off of George Lucas's original first Star Wars series that was set to debut back in 2007 that was cancelled. However, recently Kathleen Kennedy made a big change to the Star Wars universe by cancelling a huge aspect for Luke Skywalker as a character. Now, it's noted that Kathleen Kennedy had many plans for the Acolyte series that would involve Yoda within a Jedi temple that would be considered an ancient one in this entire scene, and how it was set to give Yoda a glimpse into the future while witnessing visions of characters like Anakin Skywalker, Rey, and even both Luke Skywalker and Grogu. The scene featuring a vision of Luke Skywalker, however, as well as Grogu, was said to be a very unique scene at that, featuring a vision of Luke Skywalker giving Grogu away to a mysterious figure that would point out some hints as to what happens between Grogu and Luke eventually in the Mandoverse. Now, that is a very interesting point. What eventually happens to the two characters? It's becoming quite apparent that after watching Chapter 6, it's very likely that Grogu is going to choose that other path that has to do with Din Djarin, because we already know that they have a lot of plans with Ben Solo coming into fruition for Mandalorian Season 4, and that could very well have Luke Skywalker focus on his nephew instead of this newcomer, Grogu. And obviously, given that Din Djarin went out of his way to really sacrifice that weapon, of course, to create Beskar armor for Grogu, did a great job with that, by the way. I thought that was a very great introduction to how it allows people to kind of see how specific things are made by Mandalorians. But I digress. A lot of people had issues with Luke Skywalker making Grogu choose between the way of the Jedi or the way of the Mandalorian, and how going the Mandalorian path, pursues attachment and love and all those other things that the Jedi do not allow, at least at this point in time. Now, beyond all of this, alright, what's really intriguing is that, given that, of course, Kathleen Kennedy was in agreement to do this scene which was of course proposed by George Lucas, not a big surprise. She recently canceled the entire scene featuring both Luke and Grogu in the form of a big vision in the Acolyte show. This also created a domino effect, where Yoda was also deleted from the scene that featured the ancient Jedi temple. The scene involved both Luke Skywalker and Grogu levitating off the ground in front of a completed Jedi temple. However, this is said to be a rear view of the characters. Their faces are not meant to be seen in order to not spoil, of course, the future for Yoda, and to make things more in line with Yoda not knowing about Luke Skywalker's existence decades later. It was originally a very concrete scene that was agreed upon, that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucas agreed to do, and that the sequence was also going to feature a brand new theme for Luke Skywalker in this very moment that would give Yoda some deep knowledge about Grogu and the mysterious Jedi, or figure that would give Yoda, of course, some deep knowledge about Grogu and the mysterious Jedi to Yoda as well. Now, the scene would also feature a transition that would later feature a hooded version of Anakin Skywalker wielding a red lightsaber blade, taking down the Padawans in the Coruscant Jedi Temple. This, of course, was a flawed vision for Yoda and not actually accurate, like looking through a keyhole in a sense. The same goes for Luke and Yoda. These visions were meant to be a partial set of visions of the future as far as accuracy goes, a clouded series of visions for Yoda to witness. Kennedy canceled the scene altogether, as she felt that using Luke and Grogu in every single Star Wars series is going to make things go overboard with these characters, and that she wants to give the less is more treatment to Luke as much as she can. In this case, not using Luke at all as a vision in the Acolyte TV show by Leslie Headland. Now, Lucas, of course, not surprising, is described to be very frustrated over this entire decision by Kathleen Kennedy that she canceled at last minute. Now, once again, this is nothing surprising. You know, we have seen her do this with the Wills. By the way, they are godlike deities that were supposed to appear in the Acolyte series. That was another sequence that was agreed between both Kathy Kennedy and George Lucas. She turned it around, did a complete 180, more like a 360 on George, and said, no, we're not doing that anymore. And it just brings me back to that 2013 interview where she stated that she's going to protect all these characters, that she's going to protect all of these storylines and these timelines and everything that George had created. And we saw what she did with the sequels. Now, say what you will about the sequels, some people love them, some people hate them. I, however, think that they only are good in bits and pieces. That's how I view the sequel trilogy. It has its moments, even in The Last Jedi. As much as I dislike that movie to the core, it has its moments, such as both Luke and R2-D2 meeting for the first time in a very long time. That was touching, I will agree. That was about it for me. You know, there wasn't a lot of emotional moments in The Last Jedi for me that really hit home. And that's exactly what The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett so far are doing with Luke and Grogu and, you know, Din Djarin and all these characters like Ahsoka Tano. I mean, they're really nailing it. John and Dave know what they're doing, and it's a reason why Bob Iger said that he sees a lot of George Lucas within Jon Favreau. And when you look at Favreau, he's more so on the filmmaker side of things, and Dave Filoni really knows like how to handle the lore side of things very, very well. And I think that them working together is a great combination. It just makes a lot of sense, as I like to call it, the Favloni universe. The Favloni universe, you know, we have so much stuff coming out of this. We have, you know, everything ranging from Mando Season 3 and 4 to the Ahsoka Tano show to Star Wars Underworld and all these different TV shows that will be announced by this May. Keep your eyes open. But overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.